Hello everyone, this is Tribecast episode 14 and my name is Marina. This week we have finished recording the talks with the 5 startups from Tampere who was included in the Arctic 15 top 30 list. So first you'll hear an interview with Jaakko Timonen from Nonono about the differences of Finnish and US customers and his ideas about the key to success. And then Karita Savin from Huoleti will teach us how to choose an event to go to and how to fruitfully network on it. And before we continue, let me remind you that Tribecast Tre is an independent media working in close cooperation with Tribe Tampere Network to give the voice to the players of Tampere startup community. And now, let's get started. Thank you very much for coming today for the interview, Jaakko, and please tell our listeners a few things about yourself.
Well, thanks for having me. So, my name is Jaakko Timonen, and I'm the founder and CEO of Nonono. Well, I'm actually originally from Tupovara, which is a tiny village in eastern part of Finland. I studied business and economics in the University of Joensuu, and then moved to Tampere a bit more than 8 years ago now. My background is in 3 different B2B SaaS companies before founding Nonono. So that's the short summary of my background.
And how does the idea of Nonono came to your head? And could you please open up a bit more about the project?
Okay, yeah. So the idea actually came in a train toilet. It's a somewhat funny story. It was a stormy day, true story. And when I was entering the bathroom, a heavy wind swung the train, and there was this unlocked mirror cabinet door above the sink that was not locked properly. It smashed open and almost hit me in the face, and I was pretty angry about that. And I guess the long story short is that I tried to send feedback to the train company, but couldn't even locate the feedback form on their website. And I also thought that if I would go through filling out the form, it's going to be probably like 30 fields, super complicated. And then the outcome is probably close to zero in terms of impact. So if I would get a response, it would be just like some corporate jargon. Your feedback means a lot to us, but basically nothing happens. And then a couple of weeks later, I was visiting my cousin, who is originally from the city of Lahti. And he showed me this Lahti blog that was established by 2 artists from Lahti. And they just gathered negative news and some, like, in a weird way, funny Instagram photos there. And it became a viral hit. And actually so popular that the authorities of Visit Lahti tried to take the blog down. And then the following morning, I was again traveling by a similar train. And then it hit me that, hey, if negative content sparks a reaction, how about if my complaint to the train company was public? Not only would it generate impact from them, however, if they resolved my public complaint well, it would actually mean that a resolved complaint transforms into marketing, because not only I feel good about the company listening to me, but all the others can also see that, hey, this company can be held accountable if something goes wrong. And then I just thought that somebody must have done this already and started doing online research, and to my surprise, I wasn't able to find a single company who had done this. Well, later on I have found examples, of course. And back then I only knew one angel investor, so I booked a meeting with him, and 3 meetings later I was funded. So that's how the story got started.
That's impressive. Yeah, thanks for sharing the story. I read it on your webpage, but I think our listeners listened to it with interest. Can you please tell a few things about your team?
Yeah, so originally I started with one technical co-founder, but even while we were moonlighting, like doing nights and weekends, I needed to reorganize the team, and we have had a couple of changes since. However, these days we have 2 full-stack developers, and we have a person who is product manager / customer success manager, and me, so 4 people full-time, and then we have 1 part-time search engine marketer. So in total, at the moment, we're a team of 5. However, hopefully at the end of the week, we'll be a team of 6, but we'll see.
Right, and good luck to your new potential employee, and I hope that you will make it and work together nicely and everything. As we can figure out, team of 5 seems to be enough to make it to Arctic 15 top 30 list. Congrats on that.
Actually, top 15. I just got the news today, so we are into top 15.
All right, we can congratulate on making Arctic 15 top 15 list. That sounds horrible. They should have made it top 10 or top 20. So yeah, what are your expectations about Arctic 15, and is it your first time there?
Actually, Arctic 15 is my favorite startup event, so I have big expectations, and it's my third time. I mean, I love Slush, which is the most famous one in Finland, and I visited quite a few events abroad as well. However, I think Arctic 15, what makes it great is that it's really, as they say, action-focused. It's really easy to meet people there and have meaningful conversations, and it's less of a festival, more of a substance-based event. So I'm really looking forward to attending Arctic 15.
As far as I could figure out from your webpage, the webpage of Nonono, by the way, why is the name Nonono?
Yeah.
What's behind it?
Yeah, so when I got the idea, I started dabbling with the names. What I realized is that our target is to hit the US market sooner than later. So then I started to think what would be like a short, catchy name that would resonate with consumers when they are unhappy about something. So then I just got the idea of no somewhere, because basically the idea was that let's imagine that you're unhappy at an hotel counter complaining about something. Then what would you say when you wave your finger? You might say, no, this was not the room that I paid for. Or no, this was not the flight that I booked, or something. So the goal there is basically that at some point in the future, when there is a consumer complaining and he or she just mentions no, they both understand there and then that, hey, we can resolve this issue here and now, or then there's an avenue called no, the consumer can use to resolve the complaint.
Right. I like your approach to this. And I know that you have already stepped onto American market. Kind of stupid to ask, but still, why to get out of Finland? And do you plan to expand somewhere else?
Yeah, well, we originally started in Finland. However, what we learned is that, first of all, the Finnish culture doesn't fit very well with our idea, because Finnish people are way too shy to voice their opinions in public. So, for example, whenever I explained the business idea to my friends or anyone in Finland, they immediately asked first that how does the company feel if I complain about them in public? And I was like, why are you asking that? Why are you asking that? I mean, if you paid for something and you're not happy, first you probably try to reach out to them. And if they don't help you, are you still considered about how the company feels? We got some happy users. We got more than 70% of the brands to respond on our platform. However, we weren't able to find growth, not as fast as we wanted. And then we just did our first experiments in the US, and we got way bigger numbers. And I also traveled there, and I interviewed. I spent one Sunday when I was hungover. I was in San Francisco and just visited the airport and just interviewed random consumers or, people, and asked, what do you do if you have a complaint? And from others, I also asked that, what do you think of this idea? And the responses were consistent that if I'm not happy with something, I will vent in public, in Twitter or whatever, social media. And if I can see that there's a service where people complain and actually get help, then I would use that. So the culture is way more suitable for our business idea. So Finland, we actually closed our service because it's like 1 people in 100 who has the courage to voice their opinion in public.
But you're still considered to be a Finnish startup.
Yeah, well, we're established or incorporated here in Finland. We have plans to open a subsidiary company in the US. But yeah, 4 out of 5 of our team is in Finland and 1 is in India. So in that sense, we're a Finnish startup.
Okay. Do you plan to go somewhere besides the United States?
Yeah, of course, in the long run, the goal is to become a global company. I'm not sure yet when we're going to expand outside of the North America.
Where do you expect, or where do you plan to be in 5 years?
Well, in 5 years, we hope to be the most well-known complaint resolution platform. So basically, if there is a consumer anywhere in the world thinking that there's an issue I need to resolve with a business, then hopefully everyone will first think of no. So in a similar way, then you think that, if you need to book a room, you think of Airbnb. So in a similar way, we hope to be the service that helps consumers.
Okay. Again, I like your attitude and approach to that, and I wish you good luck with that, as well as I wish you good luck on Arctic 15. And probably I have one last question for today. In your opinion, what's the key to success for a startup?
Fast learning, that's the first thing that comes to mind. And talking to customers, that's probably the most important thing. And then learning fast. Yeah, that's my answer.
All right. Thank you very much for this interview, Jarkko.
Thank you.
Hello, Karita. Thank you very much for making for this interview, and tell our listeners a few things about yourself.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having this opportunity to tell about me and about my startup. My name is Karita Savin. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Huoleti. The whole journey started 2 years ago. Before that, I was doing the business consulting and 3 years of that in healthcare sector. So I basically knew the stage. My background is in coding, being a nerd, all the time building some new things like the biggest databases to Finland, new innovations at Nokia and everything.
Right, that sounds impressive. As far as I understood, the product of Huoleti is some kind of a support platform, like an electronic support group for the families of people who have some severe health problems. Do you work only with the family and loved ones, or is your product also useful for people with health problems?
Oh yeah, basically it started with the cancer patients, and we had more than 100 stories. They were asked that what could be better during their treatments, because the medical care is really good, but still people feel quite awful during the treatments. And we asked also from the family members that what could be different way. And it was really simple. They didn't have the channel to show what they need and when they need, and to keep their independence. And at the same time, the family members didn't have the tools how to be actively involved and how they can help. With the family members, I mean the relatives and also the close friends and others. Currently, we are also bringing the volunteers to the platform through the organizations, but there are, of course, always the security things, and that's why we can't open it for everybody who would love to volunteer in their neighborhood.
Okay, since you mentioned it about security, open up a bit more about it, because it's really, sensitive topic and people really need to be protected.
Exactly, and that's where we have been putting a lot of effort already at the concepting phase. So everybody can be anonymous. We show them on the map if we have the permission, but we never show the real place. It's hashed to somewhere. So I actually tend to find myself on the lake very often. So I would love to be sailing the whole summer, but that's not possible. But that's how the app shows me very often. And then there are little things in the features which protect the individuals so that the others don't know who that person is until it's necessary to know who the person is.
Do you also have psychologists in the team?
Unfortunately not.
Do you plan to?
Oh yeah, and actually we have just a small team, but we use a lot of professionals in our networks. And, we went through one accelerator, the vertical, in the very beginning. We are connected to multiple startup networks and multiple business networks. So we have connections to so many people, and we use them by their services, when we need it.
Can you talk a bit about the team?
Oh, yeah. I have a super team. Everybody who comes to work for us, they have a kind of some story or some motivation. They want to do something good, but they also create professionals. So the newest team member in my team is Sampo, whose background is in startups and measuring the product and making top products through the very agile methods. And then I have Jukka, and he's a healthcare professional, but he also did a lot of research work at university in the interactive design area. And then I have Jonna, who is our young eyes, and she is bringing in the gamification and the mindset of the younger people. And then I have Erika, who has a background in value-added sales and solution sales, and she's really good with customers and great project manager. So if somebody, then she can keep the timelines. But yeah, that's actually my operative team. And then I have my management team, which is very international. So I have there Will Cardwell. He's currently located in North Carolina, but he's very well-known startup mentor. Then I also have Patrick Halford, who is also